Hello everyone. This is my first video. So yeah, welcome to the land of retro vinyl. Yes, that's what I'll be sharing. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a couple of years now, but I really have not been so sure how, as it just seems like a very awkward and sort of forced thing, speaking into a camera. Like, literally, this does not feel like I'm talking to a person. And, I mean, I'm not the most talkative person in the world, don't go out a whole lot, but, this is something new for me to try, and something that I want to work on and practice. As far as the purpose of this channel, as in the title, it's retro vinyl. That's the main thing. I can name it a million other things that are vinyl and retro related, but they wouldn't touch on the generalization that I want to go for, as well as the specification, which is older stuff. And I want to play older games, and I want to be able to showcase older items, particularly vinyl records, which I do have. I'm going to go through showing just 3 of them for today. I don't have a lot, but I've predominantly been a musician for the last almost a decade or over a decade, and that's what I want to show. Okay, so without further ado, I will go ahead and start with the first 3 records that I'm going to share here and go through the purpose of the channel, which I'm sure I'm just dragging this on, and I'm eventually going to beat a dead horse like anyone else who does their first video. This is not easy. Anyways, let me go ahead and start with the first record. First record. There it is. Alright, first record is Rush's 2112. This was, I believe, released in 1976. And this was released shortly after they made Caress of Steel, which Caress of Steel did not sell so well. So this was a huge comeback for them in order to sort of rebound and regain some footing. They did do something similar to what they did on Caress of Steel, which was they released a very, very long, like 20 plus minute song, much to the chagrin of the record label, obviously, because you can't play that on the radio. I think they do play bits and pieces, probably elsewhere. I haven't heard it here in Colorado, nor have I heard it nor did I hear it out in Las Vegas when I was actively paying attention for it. But it was released in 1976, and it sold about 200,000 records, and that was by the following year, and that established them as a much more permanent progressive rock act. And by the way, all the records are Rush today. I only have 3 of them. Like I said, my collection is small. I have more CDs and books than I have much of anything else. So, the next thing is going to be Signals by Rush. Yes. Liz Doogie. Now this one is a lot older than, well, it's not as old as 2112, but it's an older formatted record because that one is special. That one is, oh my gosh, if I can even show it. The record over there is blue. That's all you need to know. It's a blue edition. It just came out with it. It's like 5,000 copies or something. This one was released in 1982, I think. And it continued their use of synthesizers after they started using them on waves and moving pictures. That was when they had really started to heavily experiment with the synthesizers. Although they did have synth-like sounds in 2112. Let's be honest with ourselves. The intro of 2112 sounds like a pre-recorded synthesizer of some type. Okay? They've been using them for a while. And that's kind of where that led them, which was it led them into using more synthesizers, and definitely made them experiment a little bit more. With this particular record, it wasn't as experimental as later records, especially after the one that I'm about to show you right now. And I'll get right to that. So the next record that we have, you can see me, sorry. The next record that we have is Rush's Power Windows. You can't really see the name, but it's right there. Now this one was released in, I think, 1985. Thought I was going to guess something else. Gotcha. It was released in 1985. This is definitely one of their more overly political and philosophical records. Although they've had the Rush is very philosophy and politically based on their lyrics, especially coming from Neil Peart, who reads a lot of philosophy and fiction and books and whatnot. So with songs like The Big Money, which is basically about how Big Money can sort of fund bands, and Big Money, sends things going around the world, makes things turn, makes the world go and go and go. Songs like that, all the way from that to Mystic Rhythms, which is more so, I don't really think it's a political undertone, but the record is more based off what music does, how it sort of carries us away. But it takes place from more of a Mystic Rhythms or like an African music sense, which I believe they were exploring the continent of Africa at the time, or they might have been touring there, and that's where that's when Neil Peart sort of began to have a change of heart in terms of political stance, because he went from very, very much an individualist point of view, he went to more of a, how to explain, a more libertarian point of view. Yeah. So yeah, that'll do it. And as far as the main purpose of this channel, I didn't really want to go into the purpose of the channel, partly because it's going to have to change as I go anyways. But the main purpose is to share stuff. Share little bits and pieces of history. I want to kind of share my love for music. I've been a big fan of certain bands throughout my life, and I want to be able to showcase and review and talk about those bands, and kind of give you why they wrote the records that they did, but not just why they wrote the records that they did, how they did it, and what made them get to the point to where they could be as big as they were, or as small as they are. Some of them are underground, yeah. A couple other things. Music's magic. The world is actually okay. I know that everybody loves preaching hostilities, cynicisms, but in this world of hostility and cynicism, we definitely need more people to come out who are huge advocates for peace, and definitely do not like the cynical turmoil that is sometimes life and life thoughts. Anyways, thanks. This is the land of retro vinyl, and peace. Sorry, the camera's opposite, so I really can't tell. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is my Mixcraft.